No one can say that the days following the trial haven't been pretty entertaining, especially considering all of the things Amber and her crew have been up to since that verdict was announced. And again, not so surprisingly, the gang is in the news, and unlike before, their claims have actually stepped up a notch and even involved the jurors now. But you won't believe just how high they took things this time. So what's the latest news about Amber's camp making a move on the jurors? Right now, there's probably no one with an internet connection that can say they haven't been hearing of the lengths Amber Heard and her camp are willing to go just to ensure things fall back under their control. But based on all of the events that have taken place over the past few weeks, they haven't exactly made any major headway, which is probably why they've decided to step things up. So, if you remember during the trial, Elaine repeatedly thanked the jurors and all the parties involved for taking out their time to participate in every way they have. And at the time of these thanks, these jurors have been vetted to all extent by both parties. Well now, Elaine is saying something completely different. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the new tactic being employed by Amber Heard's camp. According to Amber's lawyer Elaine, one of the jurors that presided over the case was invalid, and as such, the lawyer believes that it is grounds for a mistrial. The news about Elaine making these claims just resurfaced recently when Cupcake Mag posted a story about it a couple of hours ago. However, these claims that were made by the lawyer didn't start recently. In fact, the claims date all the way back to several days ago, shortly after the hearing for the finalization of everything related to this case by all the parties. And even though that hearing was more or less just a formality, Elaine still saw it as a chance to raise problems with the trial that was literally as clear as day to almost everyone on the planet. According to Elaine, there were problems with the trial, and because of that, she was hoping that they would get additional hearings. And of course, we all know that all of this is just conveniently coming up right now because they lost. What makes Elaine's arguments even more ridiculous is the fact that she literally spent weeks thanking these same people for everything going so smoothly, and now that it all ended up in Johnny's favor, she has just so conveniently realized that there were problems with the process. Well, the judge wasn't having any of it, and that's exactly what on-site reporters also confirmed.
This was kind of a formality, this hearing, and this was for basically the judge to enter the judgment. Okay, so we had the jury's verdict. Elaine Bredehoft, the attorney for Amber Heard, asked to file some have some possible a briefing schedule or something to that effect, and she said that Judge Ascarati said that's not going to be necessary. She said you basically file your briefs, file your motions, file your appeal. Elaine Bredehoft made it sound like she might want some type of hearing, and the judge, Judge Ascarati, was very no-nonsense as usual, actually more no-nonsense than usual, Jesse, and she basically said, I don't need a hearing on any of this stuff. I've had this case for 18 months, and we had a 6-week trial. So she said, if you have a motion, file the motion. It can be decided on the papers. Elaine Bredehoft was also wanting to address this bond that has to be filed by Amber Heard in order to appeal the case. And so she wanted to discuss that as well in a post-trial motion, I should say. And Judge Ascarati basically said, well, you can address whatever you want, but you have to file the bond. And
well, this just goes to prove even more that every single person that was either on Johnny's side or has remained neutral about the case is pretty much done with it. And although the judge has actually spoken about the new motion Elaine just filed, but some fans already think it'll be shut down by the judge, just like her other motions in the last hearing. The fan in this case wrote, "Let's wait until Amber Heard stands lose their minds when they hear about Chief Judge Ascarati denying Elaine's motion." Another user who thought outside the box wrote, "It is hilarious to me that Elaine is arguing that it is wrong that the jury found Amber Heard defamed Johnny Depp maliciously, all while Elaine's counterclaim argument was Johnny Depp should be held liable with malicious intent for something Adam Waldman said about Amber. We don't know exactly what it is Elaine plans to achieve with all of these moves she's been making. But judging from how things look from this side, these are nothing short of desperate attempts to look like they have a plan, and several people on social media already even have that thought too, so it's safe to say she might need a magic trick to convince the judge to go for this. But we'll wait to see where everything ends up. Tell us, what do you think she plans to achieve from all of this?